76 Media Toronto. I'm happy to meet you, Ali. Ali, it is the NUP Canada Convention 2023, and of course it was something that was long-term planned.
For sure.
They have so many objectives to look at and to achieve. So could you please discuss it to our viewers? What are the expectations of this convention?
Well, such a great question, and I think it's a question that I would have actually pressed to, especially to the leadership of NUP here in Canada. But of course, for me as a journalist and as a a Ugandan, working here, there are quite a number of, I've looked at the blueprint of, that is informing this convention. It's rich, and they're talking about issues around, governance or leadership. They're looking at issues that to do with, supporting efforts back home. There are quite a number of issues that are being looked at, and for me, what I can actually say is that we shall be looking out for, how the conversation actually happens. We shall also be interrogating issues around, the president's speech. I'm highly anticipating that, and what kind of message does Honorable Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu has for Ugandans, especially those in diaspora.
Speaking of President's speech, that is very interesting. I don't know, can we try to look into it, like what we can expect from his speech? Because we are having newcomers who have just joined us in Canada. Warm welcome to our newcomers from Uganda. They expect a lot. They have been like victims of torture back home.
For sure.
The president is looking forward to advocate for change. How do you think this will help the newcomers who are trying to settle in Canada?
And I think you really raised some very important points there. Actually, many newcomers have actually, fled from Uganda. Many are here, and I think seeing their president, come. And I think it will be, great that the president can be able to touch on, such issues, and to reassure them, to connect with them, to commiserate with them, because many of them and especially as newcomers, they face, unique challenges in Canada. Issues around race are quite, serious here. We expect that the president can be able to, connect with them at that personal level. So for me, for the newcomers, I really, it's a great opportunity. But also, it's for them to also associate with these newcomers. It's an opportunity also that can speak and validate their struggles, and also for the immigration sort of status here in Canada.
Okay, thank you so much, Ali, for responding to the question. And from how Ali has responded to the question, there is no doubt that all the Ugandans that have gathered here are expecting the best from this. This convention, Canada NUP Convention 2023, is going to advocate for change, and it is going to emphasize on how they can build leadership strongly home and here in the diaspora. I remain Brenda from 76 Media Toronto. Thank you so much, Ali, for your time.
My name is Ali Kaviri, and this is 76 Media Toronto. So we are here right now at the NUP Canada Convention 2023, and this is a moment that many, especially Ugandans, have been waiting for. So we've just arrived here, and there's so many things happening. It's a big hive of activities. We expect none other than the ghetto gladiator, the president of the People Power Movement, and also the president of the National Unity Platform in Uganda to be gracing this particular occasion. And we are so privileged as 76 Media Toronto to be unveiling or to be covering the entire event. So just stay locked to this channel, and we'll bring you all the latest from this particular conversation and the convention in particular. On set, I've been joined by none other than Muzira Tony. He's one of community leaders here. He works with the Center for Black Development Options Canada, and is a bunch of so many other things. So we shall be talking to him, and also he's going to be weighing in about his expectations, especially about this convention. So, Tony.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You're dressed to kill.
Oh,
I'm so impressed.
I like how you always brand yourself.
We have to be glamorous, The president is coming, so it's an example.
Now, that's where we're actually going to start from. So, first introduce yourself very well to our audience.
To our viewers and all Ugandans, my name is Tony Muzira, the Muzukulu of the Chabazinga of Busoga, and we are so honored that we have Inebantu. So now the kingdom is together, and
congratulations.
And our president was given the name Isabire, which stands for the father of the twins. So I'm so happy to be here, and I work with the Center for Black Development Options, which is a non-profit organization that works with black immigrants through in-depth research to make sure that as people arrive in Canada, they are thriving well through the Canadian setting.
Interesting. What a profile. So without really wasting so much time, tell us about this convention. What are your expectations about this event?
Basically, this convention has actually come at a time where we need it. You know what is happening in Uganda, back home, a lot of human rights violations. There's a report that the team with the president that is going to present, which actually I'm very interested in, because a lot of violations that have led people to come into this country forcefully.
Yeah.
They come into this country forcefully. So what I expect from this convention is for us to come up with other strategies of how we help our people back home, but also people here in the diaspora, most especially Canada, people that are victims of these violations that we're talking about. I expect from the president to talk about things like tribalism, because it has been a catchword all over. And even within us, there are a lot of tribalistic sentiments. So we need to first sweep the house as people of change. We need to sweep the house, because for over time, the government that is illegitimate has been using the tribalistic card for so many times in order to rule Uganda. So for us as National Unity Platform and members of that are willing to see change in Uganda, is for us to put those settlements at the parking lot and make sure that we take Uganda where it's supposed to be.
Those are very interesting insights that you actually touched on. And I admire your courage for actually pointing out such things, because it certainly takes the coward to, not to say some of those things. But maybe the other thing that I really wanted, especially, and let's bring this conversation especially to the people in diaspora, Tony. You're a newcomer. You've been here for about maybe a year and above. What has been the situation like, especially people who are coming, in Africa? We've recently had, issues around the refugee crisis, and luckily we've seen you've been at the forefront of, advocating for safe sort of landing for most refugees, especially from the African continent. So, Tony, you've raised quite a number of issues, but I want to really bring that conversation back to the diaspora here. For people that have actually been able to flee from their country, and especially in Uganda, every time the Center for Black Development Option has been at the forefront of receiving Ugandans. What message do you think the president of the National Unity Platform can be able to touch on, especially as a package for many diaspora, Ugandans that have fled, but also what sort of arrangement you think the president might sort of highlight?
Yeah, first of all, I want to appreciate most of the members that came out unapologetically to come and discern this kind of situation that was happening, providing relief and all that to our Ugandans that were sleeping on the streets. For me, it was a very bad indicator for us as a country back home, because people are running away, and then they are coming to this country where they feel they're going to get refuge, and then it becomes worse. So for me, I think the fact that the president is here, because we're here to have a dialogue, also discuss issues that are affecting us, most especially for us that are here in Canada, diaspora as a whole, is for us to create different pathways. And as a country, what are some of these pathways, the arrangements? You've seen in the news about the UK and Canada arrangement for people below the age of 30, where they can come and work in Canada for 3 years. Yeah. So these are some of the things we want to see. Instead of people coming here seeking asylum or whatever. Yes, for those that are doing that because of what kind of persuasions that are happening. But if there are other pathways that where Ugandans can come and thrive in the diaspora, and also Africans, I think that would be very good. And for His Excellency the President, Honorable Chagulanyi, who is the legitimate president of Uganda, he can come up with strategies and have kind of a discussion with the government of Canada, such that such things stop. Not only Ugandans, but also speaking for other African nationalities that are here in Canada. I feel. Talk about the issues of economy, talk about the issues of housing, talk about the issues of education, where our credentials are not valued. You know, me and I, we used to work into the social services and civil society, you know. That is the same work that we should be doing here. So there should be a kind of an arrangement where it is very smooth for another person to come and integrate.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure, Tony. And let me show nice deliberations in there. So maybe as I let you go, for the people that are not here or they are on there, what message would you give to them?
First of all, I don't know if people are watching us, but my father,
they are.
Already?
It's live.
My father was asking me where can he catch live. He has been with the president over the tour, Honorable Kaluya. So
just tell him to check out 76 Media.
Sure, I'm going to do that. So basically, for our people back home, I'm sending them a message of hope, that they should not lose hope. Because even when Moses was moving through the Exodus, they finally reached the promised land. So the promised land is the national unity platform. We are going to reach that promised land, and very soon I can trust you Ugandans that change is coming. The change that you've been waiting for, we are here. For us as the young generation, we shall start fighting until we reach there. That's the only message I can send Uganda.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
My name is Maureen. Okay, thank you so much for joining NUP Canada Convention 2023. I believe you've come with so many expectations. So please share with us your today's expectations after this convention.
My expectations, as first of all, I will begin, I think, by thanking the Canada NUP, the organization NUP within Canada, for organizing such a colorful event that is aiming at uniting us and even inviting our leader to talk to us, because being the topmost leader is the one who is supposed to guide us on the next step, since all our major role is to see a new Uganda, where we're expecting a lot. Having met a lot of challenges during this generation of ours since of 1980, so we are expecting much, and it's the only part we're supposed to address. So for me, I will begin by thanking the head of the NUP Convention within Canada.
Okay, welcome. Speaking of the challenges, because I heard you speak that you are a victim of challenges, so can you try to please direct to us what you could have went through back home in Uganda? And for how long, by the way, have you been in Canada?
I've been in Canada for like a year, but the challenges are obvious. Everyone can see them. Like the challenges all the youth of 80s are facing: the unemployment, the high rate of unemployment, especially among the youth. People are going to school, they are failing to get jobs, and there are no avenues of creating jobs for the youth. We are going a lot, and I think that's one of the major challenges. There is too much tribalism in the country. The national cake is not equally distributed among all tribes of the country, though the country is having a lot of tribes, but there are imbalances within the country. There are political prisoners. People are in prisons without being brought, without being sentenced. people are being sentenced to, like, without maybe the right procedures are not being followed. Dictatorship, that's the order of the day. We need to see a change. We need to have a new Uganda where there is a freedom of speech, freedom of expression, employment avenues are being created, people are coming out of school and their avenues of getting jobs. There are some people who are even flying abroad, like in the Middle East countries, and they are suffering at the end of the day. Remember, even those people are suffering, but even they bring income in the country. Because remember, when someone is working abroad, they are sending money back home, and that money is taxed. Apart from being taxed, that money is helping Ugandans within the country. So there is really somewhere there are no fairness in the system.
From what you're speaking, I believe that you're expecting a positive change, especially after this Canada Convention 2023. From what we've heard, basically this convention is aiming at building leadership capacity within the Ugandans living in the diaspora and back home in Uganda, and advocating for change. So as we continue to interview many and more people coming up, we expect to get like a positive change from the fellow Ugandans. Thank you. It's Media Toronto. I'm here at NUP Convention 2023. My name is Brenda and I'm here with Next. I believe you came with high expectations. It is 2023 Canada Convention for NUP supporters and all over people who are expecting to change politics back home in Uganda. So what are your expectations in this convention?
In this convention 2023, I hope we find a solution for whatever reason whoever came in here for. First of all, the domestic violence, we need to have a level ground for competition. Okay, we need to, everyone who came here is because there is injustice that is happening to them. So, in that way, I hope in this convention we at least address solutions or a way. That is my expectation, to find a way out, a solution, a permanent solution.
Okay. Latifa, I think you're in the right place because of the things that have been highlighted to be discussed in this convention 2023 is we are going to, the President, Chagulanyi Robert Sentamu, will discuss about leadership capacity building here in Canada and back home in Uganda. And then they're going to discuss about change advocacy. How are they going to help Ugandans to make sure that they change from the process of voting, for example, because they all believe that the way of how their elections are being run in Uganda is not really in a good form. So I believe, Tifa, you'll get back home after this convention with a positive expectations.
My hopes are high and I have trust in it because we saw the change from the ghetto to the parliament. Everything is possible.
Thank you so much, Tifa, for your time.
We made it clear that our purpose is to mobilize people, but the sole aim is to remove Museveni from power. We don't mince words about that. We don't pretend about it. That is the mission. Because Museveni's regime is illegitimate. So we want to remove him and that small group of his fellow criminals out of power. Then we should again be able to start a country of our own. We don't want to wait for 2026. No, we want to remove Museveni as soon as we can. Yes, if we've not removed him, by the time we get 2026, we can sit with others and plan what next. But for now, we don't have time. We are impatient. We want to remove that thing. Yes, we don't want to pretend about it. We want to remove Museveni, and these are the reasons. Number one, every day that Museveni spends ruling over our country, Uganda goes back by 10 days. Every day, I can tell you, the man uses 2.8 billion shillings of our money every day. 2.8 billion, 2,800 million shillings of your money. Not every year, not every month, No.
6 Media Toronto, and we are here again to serve you better. We've had the opportunity of attending the first ever National Unity Platform Convention here in Canada. And I'm joined here by Tony to just get us a recap of what he has actually made out of this particular convention. So Tony, you've actually attended, you're among the guests that were here. Can you just give us, like, in a nutshell, what actually you found this particular convention? How has it been like?
Basically, my expectations, like I said earlier on, the three things that I talked about, the tribalism card that is being roaming around the country, but also the message of reminding us that we have to put the dictator on pressure. For example, even the donors that are giving us international aid, remind them that they are funding a government that is legitimate, they are funding a government that is actually not serving the expectations. And you clearly had that from the Secretary General of the National Platform,
for sure.
You had that from Joel, the spokesperson, and also the First Lady for the first time I'm amazed.
My God,
She was speaking truth to power. As a lady, she was giving us history of how this government came. So basically, for me, for this first half, I've been impressed with my expectations have been
really met. For me, actually, I would be very, very, truthful and say that the poem has, the poem, and I really want to take this opportunity to salute the, the leadership of NUP chapter here in Canada. They have really done a commendable job in terms of pulling something like this together. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of courage, and I think they have really done their best. And I think you could really tell from all the rest of the speakers. They have not seen something like this in Canada.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and I remember you talked about something like the shelter crisis. And even like actually the president, Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu, has actually spoken about what has been like when you received that message.
I like the fact that he was able to acknowledge that the Ugandan community of being united, but also welcoming their brothers and sisters that are going through hard times as they arrive in Canada.
For sure.
But also he hinted on the fact that if our country, Uganda,
I'm sure we had enough
was
food.
actually well managed, you also had him, he gave an example of how systems are well
allow
whereby he gave an example saying that here, when someone leaves their home, when they're poor, when they go in the public, they are like,
I'm sure we are all going to
actually,
something today.
there's somehow like the level
the
gap between the rich and poor is very minimal until maybe you use another lens to look at it. And that's, I think, the beauty here in Canada. And our wish that we can actually see such kind of approach and strategy in Uganda as well.
I was actually I was amazed with the joke he made that if you're rich in Uganda and you go out in the public, you'll become as poor as any other ordinary citizen. So he was speaking reality, but these are some of the things that are back home, and he was trying to tell us as people in the diaspora that we need to have a reality check. We need to push ourselves. We have to stand still as people in the diaspora because we are, helping our community back home. We are helping our brothers and sisters. So we are adding a lot. He also spoke about corruption, where he said that the president, the illegitimate president Museveni, where he spends a lot of money, trillions of money on a daily basis. On a daily basis. So for me, I think for now, we are doing well. And I want to thank the people of Uganda, in Canada, to be honest, like the room was full to capacity, and I like the indulgence that they were giving to the leadership.
But even the level of organization, even the level of organization in terms of planning, in terms of everything, I think they've really done really a great job. And also, looking at the hotel itself that we are actually
NUP Canada Championship.
I don't know how much they've actually spent, but I think they've
that
really
is
given
the
it
patriotic
their
club.
best. So, but
Again,
thank you so much for it.
The president has always said that we should speak about these things